Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. I'm your host, Nick, managing editor, and we have a full house today. It's more or less the usual crew, except Imran was he's off doing dad stuff. So we found Addy.
Found loitering. The alternate brown man just loitering downstairs.
Just loitering around the office. So we're like, hey, why don't you hang out?
So here we are.
Here we are. Last week.
Jesus Christ, guys. Fucking moving along. Okay, so last week, previously on the DoubleClutch.ca podcast, I had thoughts about the Toyota GR86 Torino edition, and I didn't get to them.
So this was the first time I spent a good amount of time. I swiped that.
Was I talking to you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm so sorry. It just felt like I just felt like being crazy hostile.
Jesus Christ!
It's an open form of communication. You can type in whenever you want.
It's funny because you don't like these things.
I don't like these things.
And now you've driven one.
I've driven a bunch of them since the I guess model year 2013, the Scion FRS and the Subaru BRZ. Twins came out, and it's been over a decade now. I've driven a bunch of them over these. I really liked them when they were new because I was 23 or 24 years old.
You were in the demographic.
I was in that demographic, except at 23 or 24, I didn't really have any money, so I couldn't go out and buy a new one.
In the demographic.
And then now it's a decade later, and I'm now 35, and I haven't really appreciated them for the last few years because I'm just like, they're too slow. I mean, they handle well, but they're too slow. And there are other cars I would have. Like, I would just spend the premium and get a Miata because I am a believer in slow car fast. Fine.
Except this car did not have enough power for you.
This car just didn't have enough power for me. It's little gutless, no torque.
Yeah.
Like, that was the issue for me. And then I drove this after quite some time, and I just used it to boot around and do some errands. Like, nothing aggressive or anything.
Car, yeah.
And what?
Yeah, do normal car things.
Doing normal car stuff, yeah. And I still feel like if I'm going to have a car that's quote-unquote that slow, I would like the convertible top of the Miata because I drove it kind of back-to-back with Nathan's 23 ND Miata, and I like that car much more. But I think I've come around to the chassis of the 86/BRZ. Car would like to slide controlled slides like so easily. The shifter is really good. I really, really like the shifter, which was something I didn't really expect to because I remember the first gen shifter being like, okay, not great. And I liked it. I kind of liked the noise it made. Didn't mind the interior. Liked the driving position. It ticks off the right boxes for being a kind of budget entry-level kind of autocross kind of car. I don't think I'd want to drive one on the big track because they're kind of gutless for that. But we do know people closely who track these things on the big track, and they like them. You know, they're the guys that are modifying alignments, corner balancing, making sure they're perfect to set that lap time. Fine. Like, you want to beat time attack against yourself? Fine. Great chassis and inexpensive to tune and lots of stuff.
That's kind of a huge part of that community though, is like tuning it and people that have these things, like, as much as they love driving them, they also love working on them and getting their hands dirty. I think that's like a big part of why you own one of these things. I think a lot of that also comes from the fact that, okay, when it came out 10 years ago, you were a certain age and cars were a certain, thing. But now the BRZ, the 86 and BRZ twins have evolved,
quite a bit.
Yeah,
the second gen cars are really accomplished.
Very, very different.
Actually, really good. It's one of the cars where they actually addressed pretty much every single pitfall of its predecessor.
Well, that's kind of the great thing, right? Is like, okay, like, I think where Adi was getting at was like, I haven't really like noticed these things. It's like, well, he's matured 10 years, but so has the 86. And after driving it, it's like, like, this thing it definitely feels 10 years newer. And like, Gen 2 makes a big difference. Like,
it does.
Yep.
I think like, okay, like gutless. I don't know if I would use the word gutless.
No, I wouldn't use the word gutless at all.
That car's quick.
It had like it was peppy, like, and it felt fast. I think that was the good thing about it, right? Like, maybe it's still not on paper. It may not be the fastest thing, but it's more than quick enough for you to have fun with. I think.
Yeah, like, it's definitely like fast. It's fast enough to get you in trouble. It's got enough power to get the back end out. It's like there's enough to play with there.
I feel like it's been played. This conversation's been played out. What I'm about to say, but put the WRX motor in there. And that's kind of the thing. That car
car doesn't need more power.
I don't think it does.
I don't know.
But like,
Okay,
what
so
would you get
Nathan,
with more power?
let me ask you something. 2 questions I've got, because I have not familiarized myself. What is price point compared to a like GS Sport Pack Miata of this thing? I know the Miata's gotten expensive too.
Yes, so the one John just reviewed, I think, was 43.
Okay.
Yep.
This special edition car is 39.
So $4,000.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Aside from, I mean, you leased the previous press car.
Yep.
Aside from the cheap payment and the fact that you got a smoking deal on yours, would you, if you were paying MSRP and buying one of these cars, would you have done exactly what you did again?
No, I take the Miata every single time without blinking.
Okay, same.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't it feels peppier to me. It feels livelier to me. I feel like maybe it's just the personality of that Miata, or it's the open top experience.
I think I was going to say, like,
is.
that's the thing. The Miata's also a little different because the Miata, is a roadster. Like, you buy it because you want the open top experience. Like, the 86 is not really that. Like, it can be turned into a track car. You can put a cage in it. You can do different things with it.
You can put a cage in a Miata.
Yeah, well, I'm getting at is, like, it's kind of a different...
It's much easier to do that.
Yeah.
The big kind of takeaway for me, so like, I own a Miata, so this car is a very direct comparison to me, and I was coming at it with like a very kind of critical lens because I have a very direct frame of reference for this thing, and I haven't spent a lot of time with them, so this is my first time really driving one, and I don't like it. It's very good. It's one of those things like,
Oh, you don't like the 86?
no.
Okay.
It does a lot of
That's
little
surprising.
things that bother me. That is, I will preface all this by saying, for the price point, for the amount of performance you're getting, and the fact that there is some practicality dialed into that. Like, you have back seats, they're vestigial, but they're there. You can jam a child seat into that thing, as Ben did with the BRZ TS.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
He put a child seat in
You
it?
can
Okay.
do that, right? It has a trunk, like an actual usable trunk, right? If you're looking for something that can be a toy, that can be a fun, that can be like a reasonably practical second car, that can take the kids to school once in a while, or be the only car if your life affords that, right? Like, what they've built is really impressive in that front, and the tweaks done to this Torino edition, it was already good. This is one of the best handling cars you can buy right now at any fucking price. This chassis is incredible. I can't believe how good this car handles.
But you
Straight out
don't
of the
like
box.
it.
Straight out of the box. It's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
But you don't like
But
it.
you don't like it.
I don't like it. I'll get there. Also worth noting, so this Trino edition has Sachs shocks, like the German Sachs.
Yep.
And
Not the store on Fifth Avenue?
Not the store on Fifth
I see.
Avenue. And Brembo brakes, and those will be available as part of a performance package moving forward. So kind of bring it in line with the whole Miata's like Brembo
Recaro, BBS.
Recaro BBS Bilstein package.
Yeah.
And I think those tweaks are really meaningful because like the shocks tighten things up a little bit. They say it makes the car quote unquote more stable. I don't have much frame of reference because I haven't driven the base car very much, but I felt it was a chassis that I could very confidently like carry a lot of speed through a corner and also have like a very gentle transient handling characteristic where it could break away gently, and I could deliberately choose to or not do that. You could pick any line you want. And the only weakness those cars have on track is braking. Like after repeated like hard pounding, like they start to fade, and the Brembos fix that. So
But
it's an amazing car. It did a lot of little things that pissed me off a lot. I hate the throttle mapping with a burning, fiery passion.
Yeah,
I
I think
fucking despise it.
you and I were just talking about this because it's
Yeah.
like, I actually like driving it. Well, this is me. I like driving it, but
Yeah.
something about the way that I was like, I said like,
You can't get into a rhythm with it.
that's the thing. I couldn't find the rhythm, and it made me feel like I didn't know how to drive stick. I was like, what the heck is this thing? Like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. The clutch shifter throttle map interface, all that, it's not as fluid as the ND. I'll give you that.
Not even close. Like the clutch is fine. The shifter's fine. The throttle mapping, they don't even have rev hang like the Hondas and some of the other cars we've kind of chastised for do.
Yep.
It's just got a lot of throttle smoothing. So a quick kick becomes like a very gentle movement where it'll slowly come up and then slowly come back down. And when you're trying to drive it at slow speeds, it just feels super awkward because I just want to give it a little rev, and now I got a lot of rev, and now I'm letting the clutch out, but there's nothing behind it, so the car stalls
Yeah.
or wants to stall. And it also feels I think it's just the nature of the boxer engine. At low speed, it feels gutless. It has a good amount of torque, but below 1,500 RPMs, there's absolutely nobody home. That car is a stall machine.
Right.
The Miata, I can comfortably start in second gear because I know I've got the balls behind it. I have that like momentum inertia that I can do that.
So we're back. Like, I know what you're saying is not direct correlation to what I was saying about lack of balls.
Different.
No,
But it-
way different.
But you know, I know it doesn't. But it kind
The car
of
has
is
the
the
car has
same.
empirically more balls, but it feels like it has fewer balls.
And that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I felt about it too. That like, yes, it's quick. It's objectively quick.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
But it doesn't feel fast.
It doesn't feel
Yeah.
fast at all. Like
Okay.
that's my issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is there? I hate the turn signal. They're doing the stupid old BMW thing where it's like,
You know, the BMW's now shied away from that.
even though BMW's got away from that, and it's also kind of sloppy. Like I could never get it to actually do the one click thing.
Oh, you know what it is? Because that turn signal stock is out of an old Lexus, right?
I think so.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Which old
Out of
Lexus?
what?
That's like okay, like that turn
just
signal
don't-
stock
yeah.
feels like it's out of every old Toyota Lexus product. But
I'm
it's
not even sure
The
about
stock
that.
itself or the mechanism inside
the
it?
stock itself feels like it.
I'm not sure. Either
But it's like it's almost like the triple turn signal or comfort turn signal
Yeah.
is an addition.
it's not. Yeah,
wasn't
it's an
built to
addition
do
that was
it.
built into that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I couldn't get it to do it
Interesting.
consistently. There wasn't a separate D10 for that. 'Cause
No, exactly.
In the BMW one,
You would have a separate
there's a,
half
like you press
press.
lightly, and there's a
Yeah,
a half
actual
press.
stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you go further for the full
Exactly.
thing. This one didn't do that. I couldn't get it to behave consistently. I fucking hated it. Little things that get under your skin and bother you.
Every
and just
single listener
wreck
has
the experience.
Well, the fact that
Nathan's mom might still be around though.
Yeah.
what he's getting at is like things
Just
that are
little
gonna
things
bother
that take you out
on
of the
driving
driving
day.
experience.
No, you're right.
The car's about being connected to the. That's the thing. The Miata is about being connected to the machine. The 86 is about being a good sports car.
Yeah.
And they're both good at their mission statement.
Driving that 86 10 out of 10, was it a good sports car?
Fantastic. Like, absolutely fantastic.
So
Fantabulous. Fantastic sports car.
fabulous. Okay,
Yeah.
so it hits the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
It's just like
The throttle mapping issue goes away when
driving
you're
it
sending
right
to
Yeah.
and from the track
Yeah.
sucks. Driving it
Yeah.
at the track, great.
Yes,
But that's annoying because most of the driving you're going to do is not going to be on the track.
exactly.
So how much
It
is
just
it-
doesn't feel natural.
How much is the base Z? Like the new Z?
45.
Oh,
What's a Z?
the Nissan with the big twin turbo
That's the
V6.
thing. I
The
feel like
400Z. Remember
we
that
don't
car?
even talk
Yeah.
about that, like, because like no one really
No one
liked,
buys them.
and no one buys them, and
They
I
can't
didn't
make
really
them.
like them. Oh, you were telling me
they
this.
can't make them. They've had like major problems at the plant. They can't get them out the door.
I see.
As far as I've been made aware.
But yeah, like that's something I had completely forgotten about because like for about like, you know, $5,000 and change more, you got an even more substantial car. You got 400 fucking horsepower.
Well, like that becomes a
that's the
slippery
thing,
slope, but then
right?
two more on top of that, you get a Mustang, and that's an actually excellent performance car.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're $8,000.
Now you're
or $7,000 at least more,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of money.
But actually, like, aside from the dollar value, and this would get way too complicated from the journalism content creation standpoint, but most of the people who are buying these cars are younger folks, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't, like the performance crew, they don't have call it 45K in cash tax in to buy this car, so they're being financed, which then goes down to like Toyota/Subaru not having as aggressive financing rates as say Ford, that would say shove 0% down your throat for 72
Yeah.
months and send you out the door. The Mustang now becomes a cheaper proposition to own.
Yeah.
When you add up, when you do it, like it
no,
gets
definitely.
complicated.
That's
don't get me
actually
wrong.
like definitely a thing
So
that
it's
I've always thought about.
kind of mishmashed a little weirdly, if that makes any sense.
It's like, what does it look like on a payment? It's like, okay, we could talk about, being a $4,000 difference, but what does that look like month to month
Like
for
with,
someone?
between
right?
5.99% interest and 0% between the two cars, you could be talking about a $3 a month difference that gets you from a.
And it's hard for us to talk about that.
It is
because-
impossible,
yeah.
actually.
So
Like, but just something to keep in mind,
I don't
right?
think,
Like,
I don't think either company's trying to give those cars away at this
No.
point, though.
no,
Yeah.
no. But I'm just saying, like the,
yeah,
the
that-
delta may be less or more.
Yeah, that is a reality that does come into play.
because no one's actually paying cash for these things.
Yeah,
Let's be realistic.
yeah, but that's the only consistent metric we have.
Yep. No, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. So
And I feel
anyway,
like
those
at,
are all.
at its price point, nothing else really gets close to what it does. Because like you say, like okay, a Mustang GT is like 47, 8, I think. That's what's $8,000 more. It's 30% more is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. The Miata is like in my own head.
Yeah.
Like the S2000 doesn't exist anymore. The RX-8 doesn't exist anymore. This was like 15 years ago talk, right? Like these cars don't exist anymore. The segment, even like the front drive personal coupes, like Civic Coupe is gone. Like nothing exists that's small and kind of fun and kind of cute. Like none of this shit exists anymore. They're all gone.
has no direct competitors.
Because all the people who bought Civic Coupes now own Corolla Crosses or HRVs because they've had 4 children.
Right.
That's the reality of it.
Yep.
So it's unfortunate, but like the fun stuff is kind of gone. A lot of the fun stuff.
I don't know, man. Everyone's been saying that for 15 years. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think it
but
is.
like find me another like little 2-seat roadster like under $45K. You have the Miata and the
And Toyota's
86
working on another one.
Oh, are they?
That's supposed to be like more in line with the Miata. It's a soft top.
What's a
it's
base Mini
smaller.
cost?
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yours
about the
32? You had a base
Yeah,
Miata. Was
that's
that
what I'm
32?
saying. And that was like a great little, like
Yeah, you're right.
was like
Cooper
a-
S exists.
small, like small, cute, fun thing to drive. So like I don't know, man. There's stuff.
No, you're right.
People
I guess
still like having fun.
you're right. What's a GTI cost? It's fucking $45,000, isn't it?
35.
For like a loaded one, but they
really?
started like mid-high 30s.
That's the
yeah.
thing. Like
Well,
Okay,
there's
so yeah,
there's
you
nothing.
know what? I'm sorry. It does exist. The fun stuff does exist.
Yeah.
There's no like direct there are no direct competitors if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah.
But if you
No,
open,
I was including indirect. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the L on that one.
Just the general sport compact thing in
Yes,
general.
yes,
like,
yeah.
it's
They
a
do
pretty good
exist.
scene right now.
Yeah.
It's also the WRX, totally different car, but like due to same price, kind of same world.
We have one of those outside.
We do have one of those outside.
we do, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Oh,
it was a
no,
perfect
we're gonna
segue,
do
but-
it again.
All right, Nicholas, what's next?
Let's just do the WRX
Okay, let's just do the WRX. I was fine. I'm sorry for ruining
So
that segment.
I was handed the keys to this
Yes.
Subaru
you know
WRX. It's a GT.
That is
it's
what I'm
not.
spending the
It's
weekend.
a GT.
Does that stand for Does it stand for Grand Touring?
Sure, it can stand for whatever you want to stand for. So this is basically the top of the line model in the WRX lineup.
Above Sport Tech?
Yes.
Okay.
Above Sport Tech because this has adaptive dampers and a CVT that doesn't feel like a CVT.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Before we get into
You're such a fucking asshole.
okay, we
Didn't you just shit on me 30 seconds ago for like killing this awesome transition, and now you're killing this again?
But I have something to say. Okay.
I'm not inviting you back to this, but
That's okay.
By the way.
That's okay. Let me get this out.
Okay.
I feel like you've said this a few times.
I know. Please keep inviting me back.
Yeah, because you actually like me. Don't lie. So, the transmission, it's a CVT, but it pretends it has eight speeds, right?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, that CVT actually really good, like shockingly good.
Yes.
Comfortably the best on the market.
Yeah, like not even good for a CVT, just like a good transmission. But it does this hilarious thing, which Nathan pointed out.
I noted this last year, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, what the hell is happening with the tack? Because if you play with the paddles, you can get the tack to move around like instantaneously. So if you push a paddle up or down, it will go to where the engine will be.
Yes. Yeah, the tack
Not where it
isn't
actually
directly
is.
connected to engine revs,
Like
right?
if you listen to it,
Yeah, because it'll move like in a second, and then the engine will go.
Yeah, you downshift, it'll instantly snap to that higher
Yeah.
RPM and then follow it slowly. But it looks snappy so that
Yes.
it feels snappy in your mind.
And it actually works.
But watching this asshole play with it, go on to what you were doing.
Because I was tapping the paddles up and down really quickly, and you can get it to wave like a dog's tail. Like, it's actually hilarious.
God.
Like, I was like, wait. Like, there's no way. And I was like, oh my god, watch this.
Yeah, without at any point executing a shift. He was just playing with it and getting it to go up and down.
So,
first of all, phrasing.
yeah. What?
You're playing with it
Okay.
to get to go up. To
Oh,
get to go
I
up
see,
and
yeah,
down.
okay.
Phrasing.
In fairness, we also saw a column shifter on an F-150 do something really funny.
Yeah, it was erect by itself. But what I'm getting at is, so the cool thing is,
Episode's unusable.
yeah, this whole tack,
Yeah.
magic, I'm going to call it, actually works. It does trick your mind pretty good. And because right now, in its stock form, you can't hear the engine do the weird CVT like
motorboat thing.
Yeah, like it actually makes it feel snappier. So that works until you put an exhaust on it and then get to hear the thing go.
Yeah.
Transmission's good. It shifts. I can't tell if it quote unquote shifts fast or not.
It does actually shift fast. When you are sending it, it is pretty quick.
Yeah.
It is not as quick as the tack indicates, but it is pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's quicker than you would expect from a CVT to behave, and it's much better than the previous WRX CVT.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, like miles ahead. The tuning and it just doesn't feel like a CVT. It kind of reminds me in more than a few ways of my Mark 7 GTI.
I wonder how much of that comes down to, the CVT is tuned well for the powertrain that it's behind. Sorry, the engine that it's behind.
Yeah.
Like the engine itself has a decent amount of torque. I think the turbocharger kind of adds the perfect amount of torque.
Really fills in nicely, yeah.
Like at the perfect time, so it kind of like you never feel that dip in the torque like you would with the normal CVT, like that rubber bandy kind of.
Yeah, yeah, and especially the CVT keeps the power on. Like that car can move.
Yeah, like it's quick. Sorry, you were talking. So okay, before I interrupted you, you were talking about what else is new with this WRX that we have right now.
So the adaptive dampers. That's a new addition for 24 as well.
Have you noticed a pronounced effect?
Slightly, because it does ride a little better than the RS you had a few weeks ago.
Okay.
But I do wonder. Part of me wonders how much of that has to do with the fact that this is on 18-inch wheels versus the 19s on the RS.
The RS is on 19s?
Yep.
Okay. My memory is very good, guys.
Clearly. But like at the same time, though, it does feel a smidge. It does ride a smidge better than the standard WRX. Like
I think it rides really well.
Than on RS. It doesn't ride as well as most other Subarus do.
Well,
Yeah, but they got
most
like
other
fucking
Subarus
12
are
inches of ground
boats.
clearance.
Obviously.
But
Yeah.
like this thing actually, for doing the sporty thing and having pretty low profile tires,
Yeah.
soaks up bumps really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ride's a little noisy, but yeah, it's pretty composed.
It's still Subaru. Like it's still not to say that in a bad way. Like
It's not a luxury car.
Yeah, it's budget oriented. Like
Yeah.
but it doesn't make you feel like it's a cheap car.
No, it does ride a lot better than an Elantra N, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like it's weird to say, but like we always talk about these things like screens and that fooling people into thinking that cars are more luxurious, but like not focusing on the things that matter, like ride quality. Good on Subaru for actually like
Yeah.
making
Actually
it.
drives pretty well.
Yeah. The seats in that thing are fantastic,
The
too.
seats,
Yeah.
That's
Same thing with my RS. God, good chairs in that thing.
good chairs.
Yeah.
You had Recars. I do not have Recars, but they're still pretty good.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say,
like ass in seat, not looking at the seat, you wouldn't know.
Isn't Ricardo dead anyways? But the the seats actually like even the suede material on them, like it feels like it's
Look
high
good.
quality.
Feel good. Driving position's good.
The only thing
Great visibility.
Yeah. It's that stupid infotainment screen that's still there.
I'm okay.
I think I'm the only person in this entire industry that doesn't hate it.
No,
So-
I don't hate it. I need it to be rescanned.
Yeah, the Subaru infotainment is fine. It just needs to be reskinned.
Yeah.
I'm with him 100%. It's atrocious the way it looks. How is it acceptable?
That's
Let's hear.
that's the conclusion I came to this morning on the drive to work. I was like, okay, this actually works well. Everything's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
There's no learning curve to it. It's just
And it's
so
responsive.
fucking easy.
Yeah.
It's responsive after the car's like start up, after you give it time to like boot up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
one
it's
of
not
those.
actually-
It needs like a full minute and a half.
Oh, yeah.
figure
It's
out
like a
the meaning of life.
Pentium 486.
Yeah. Gone before 86.
Also, does it get a heated steering wheel now? It
cares?
did not when this generation came. It doesn't really.
No.
How much does it cost? Don't say $50,000.
Nearly.
Almost.
And no heated steering wheel in a car where Subaru is all about all-wheel drive and outdoorsy and cold weather and winter and all that. This
Where's
one's
some
out
mittens?
So the weird thing is, I'm like 90% sure the last WRX I drove had a heated steering wheel.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't
mine
know if
did.
I'm right.
No, the current shape one does not.
Let me look this up.
The current shape WRX
Like,
does not.
This WRX that we have right now does not. I can confirm it does not have the little toggle switch, whatever, for the heated
Correct.
steering wheel.
Is it on the back of the steering wheel? Is it like some dumb location?
No, it's like a little clicky toggle thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it did. No. Actually, Subaru moved that to be in the infotainment on a lot of their newer stuff.
So maybe it does that one.
It did not have it. I remember asking one of our friends who works at Subaru a while
In the
like
infotainment?
2-3 years ago. It was like one of my last full week press cars that I had, and
It's a GT, yeah.
Yeah,
dude, I don't think they get it in any trim.
We do big science around here, guys.
Anyway,
clearly.
moving on. We'll get an answer when we get an answer.
I'm working on it.
Yes, but you work on it while we talk about other things.
So yeah, well, like I'm actually used to the infotainment, the whole center stack thing. I'm used to the climate controls. I'm used to the whatever. But it desperately needs a reskin.
It does. It's probably the most dated looking one in the industry. I can't
It's
think
not
of
even
one that
dated.
looks-
It's just
It's not dated. It just looks Fisher Price. Like they just need to make it.
No,
look
but that's
why do you guys
that's
hate colors so much,
the skin
There's
looks
a lot
old,
going on.
man.
colors, man. It's like it's.
Winamp looked
it's
better
the
than
color.
this.
bro?
I'm not kidding. Like, anyway, I think that if they improved that, this thing actually drives really, really well.
Yeah, surprisingly so.
Yeah.
It's a lot of car for the money. Like you get a lot of practicality, a lot of versatility.
Yeah, it's like 45-ish before fees and taxes and destination. So
Wait, I think we've all driven both. Like we've all driven my RS last few weeks ago,
Yep.
and then this one. What would you have?
It's not heated.
It's not even. I know it's not even.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah, that's kind of the most egregious thing on this thing, in my
I
opinion.
don't think so, man.
$50,000. Find another car for fucking $35,000 that doesn't have a heated steering wheel.
Find another car with like all-wheel
ND
drive and
Miata?
a good engine and a good transmission and that actually like
Oh,
turns
no,
good.
I agree with all that. I'm not trying to disparage the car as it is.
But you
I'm
kind of
ju-
are. You're saying that not having a heated
I'm saying
steering
that
wheel
that's
is the
the-
worst thing in the world.
I'm
No,
not
it's
saying. I did not say that. I said it's unacceptable. I said it's unacceptable in a $50,000 car in this day and age to not have a heated
I
steering
think you
wheel.
should write a strongly worded letter, maybe a review, and throw that in.
I believe I have mentioned that in a review
he
in like
did.
2022 or
He did.
2021 when I reviewed a WRX. I
So
said,
give them time.
if you're
It takes
selling,
some time to sift through all of these
just
reviews.
saying,
2 years.
I'm just saying if they're selling a car with this whole outdoorsy, cold weather ready, all this stuff, the beauty of all-wheel drive, which I don't think is their slogan for the last 20 years. But anyway, if that's the goal of the brand, a heated steering wheel on a top trim with the automatic transmission and all the safety features and everything else that they do really well at is a hard miss. The wheel itself feels quite nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice, meaty feeling wheel. It's a normal leather-wrapped wheel. Like, why can't you throw heat into it?
It's the same steering wheel physically that is in every other Subaru, aside from the airbag cover.
Yeah.
Fine.
So it's a little weird.
Right.
I will admit, it is weird.
I'm
considering
with you
Subaru
in the
shit.
fact that like it should be in there, but like I don't think that's the worst thing about the car.
To me, that's the worst thing about the car. Everything else about the car I actually rather like.
So you're actually saying it's a very good car. It's only missing on one point, and that is it does not have heated steering
Yes.
wheel. Okay, so
That is exactly
Problem
I'm
solved.
saying it's a good car.
Good car, good
Terrible fact
transmission.
that it doesn't have the wheel. And
I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure my $72,000 truck doesn't have a heated steering wheel either.
Oh, yeah. Yo, about that $72,000 truck, I have thoughts.
All right, hey, another segue.
That
All
was
right.
good burnout.
Okay, so Nathan. Okay, guys, no, so
They can move.
Nathan rolled up in a new refreshed F-150. It cost $72,000. And I'd like to hear why it cost $72,000 because I got. Sorry, go ahead.
Because it has all like the serious truck stuff.
Which is what? Could you walk through that?
So it's the 3.5 EcoBoost instead of the 2.7.
Okay.
It's got the 355 locking rear end, four-wheel drive, super cab, decent sized box. These things all add up.
Very
Okay.
roomy back
Skid
seat.
plates. I think a tow package. Most of it's the engine.
Cool. Is there a natural? I know the 5 liter's gone. Is there any natural?
it's not gone.
Nope.
Oh, you can still get a natural
still
aspirated 5
get
liter?
it. Yeah,
Cool. The diesel's gone.
Oh, okay. Well,
The
yeah, we
diesel
knew that was.
and the
gonna go.
normally
Had a
aspirated
diesel in
3.5 is.
F-150.
Yeah, Power
Yeah.
Stroke.
Oh, but those are junk.
The little Power Stroke was like a 3 liter. I
Yeah.
went on a launch for that in somewhere in Colorado or something many years
But I
ago.
think like they're blowing up pretty frequently now.
I straight up didn't know Ford had a small diesel. I thought it was the 6.7 and that's it.
Yeah, they didn't market
Yeah,
this
I
at all,
forgot.
but it was like
Yeah.
a little Power Stroke. Anyway, fine. So it has all the truck stuff. What I noticed as not the truck guy around here,
Yeah.
I got into it. Cloth seats, fine. Steering wheel was not leather wrapped for $72,000. It was very plasticky.
So I said mentioned that the trim on this truck is the STX. It is one up from base. The
Okay.
base XL like tradesman spec.
cool. big screen,
And that's what it
which
is.
is
So
nice.
like it's the base truck with like all the cool shit under it and no cool shit on top.
Okay, so and the
The big screen is standard across everything now.
a nice little fold-out table for you to put your things on.
Yeah.
And now that the gear shift is not on the column, you can actually have it out while you're driving.
Well, because it is on the column.
Because it's on the
because it is
console.
column. Yeah,
Yes,
because
yes,
it's on
yes.
the console, you don't have to get it out of the way, which is nice.
And
Yeah.
that column shifter is quite interesting. It's almost like it's the first application I've seen of a column shifter in a pickup truck that looks to be
a mechanical column
column shifter, but
I
it's
actually-
electronic.
I honestly think it might be mechanical. I think there might be a servo in it that returns it home.
Yeah, I think that's
Maybe,
actually
but like,
what it is.
but yo,
Yeah.
I don't think a mechanical one would move that freely. Like if you actually like, I sat
That
there
doesn't
and
feel free, buddy.
no, it
I think
does.
It's chonky as shit.
No. Listen, trust me. We'll go out there after. Like if you try to actually like move it, like you can be sitting at a light and with the same force that you would like flick on a wiper stock with your like your index finger, this thing will go from drive to reverse. I promise you it does. We'll try it. Nick was beside me actually.
I was riding shotgun.
We're sitting there and you flick it up and it just goes.
I seen it.
And because another thing, Nathan's right about the whole servo thing. Yeah, like I get where you're coming from because it's kind of funny that in drive, it's like straight out 90-degree angle, perpendicular, parallel to the ground, right? And when it's in drive, and if you turn it off, it sort of gradually becomes erect and goes upward, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
How old are you?
It's nice that it returns to park. That's a nice
It
feature.
returns to park.
It's
That's
very
what it does.
clever. It's very
That being said,
It's
also,
gradual as it
to
fills
turn
with
it off,
blood.
you
Yes.
have to you would have to actually flick the key because
Yeah.
it comes with a physical.
with a
A
physical
physical key.
key.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I said. I walked in like, yo guys, look at this. And I flipped the blade
And
of the
I
key
thought
out,
it was
like,
a key to your 99 Beetle.
No.
And it was, but yeah. Anyway, so cool truck.
that has a key though.
I like that too. Yo, let's push button start. I'm gonna go on an old man tirade here for a second.
God.
No, I like push button start.
Yo, fuck push button start with a brick. I hate that shit.
Bro, what?
I hate it.
You're actually wrong.
No,
My wife
no,
likes
I'm not.
having a key too. Like,
No, like having a key is nice that you can put in. You know, like Mercedes.
Yeah, but you have to put the key somewhere. Might as well use it to start the fucking car.
You don't have to put the key anywhere. Put it in your pants.
Yeah, but then I gotta have it in my pants.
Okay.
It's not my front pocket because my phone and my wallet in the front pocket. It's not my back pocket
I
because
keep-
I'm sitting on it. No,
yeah, I keep
I'm
my
not
keys
wrong.
in my front pocket along with my
Yeah.
wallet and phone, like
You are
everyone else
all
does.
wrong. I'm empirically correct.
Yeah, but not all of us walk around everywhere with a Nathan bag.
Or hang
Yeah,
on,
dude, you
Actually, it's
literally
worse,
have
'cause-
a
and
carry-on
I-
bag that you could take with you everywhere.
Yeah, dude, it's all my fucking photography shit.
But he's
And
got
my
like
laptop.
he's got a lap or he's got a
stuff that I
flashlight
used to
on him,
run the damn magazine.
a flashlight and a multi-tool on him at all times.
Yeah.
So most people don't have those things.
Okay, but either way, the point is, Chrysler patented the fucking twist to start key thing in 1950. That was a feature.
Okay.
Because the whole thing was you got in a car, you put your key in it to unlock it so that no one else stole it, and then you hit the starter button. It was a separate movement. And Chrysler was like, yo, let's make this one movement since you're putting a key in anyway.
But you got to put the key in, take it out, and then put the key in again somewhere else.
No.
No, I'm saying like
This is dumb.
What the fuck are you talking about?
okay. So,
You put the key in the fucking ignition, you start the damn thing.
yeah, but like back in the
In
day,
every car since 1950.
Yo, go back to 2006. I'm in like the 11th grade, and I remember having my one of my dearest friends. He's not really a car guy, but is very into the intricacies. When the E90 BMW came out, the ones like they did not have comfort access on lower trim levels, right? So you'd put the key in, like the key fob into the dash,
And then press the start button.
and then brake or clutch and push the start button, right? So we had this whole argument. I remember we got into it for like 20 minutes about why he's like,
like
oh,
right
this isn't an extra thing. This isn't an extra strap. I'm like, it absolutely is.
Yeah,
Because on the
extra
B8 A4, you just put the key in, and you push the fob. Like as you put it in, you push the fob and it starts the car. This is really stupid.
what I'm
Anyway,
getting at is Nathan is wrong. So
Nathan is wrong.
I'm not.
Push button start is great.
I
I keep
like
my
that it
keys
has a
in my
key.
pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like that this truck has a key.
Why? Because nostalgic and like
Yeah, it's
kind of
cool.
cool.
How many times do you get into this guy's Vantage?
That's stupid though.
Go to start it. So you put the key in, turn it, and then have to hit a separate thing. Fuck that. Just
like
put it on the
SDK.
key.
So then
Yeah,
leave
my
the key in
S2000
your
is the same way.
pocket and then just get in the car and push the button.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Numbnuts.
Like if you're gonna do one. But that's both. That's silly.
So
is
does
it?
hang on.
Like,
okay,
Yes,
hold
but
on.
hold on. But when my
That bothered
Vantage,
me
when
too.
my Vantage does that, and you put the key in, you start it. It actually flashes power, beauty, soul across the cluster, and it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Does
Okay,
it
you
make
want,
you
I'm
feel
gonna back
warm and
this up.
fuzzy?
I don't want to hear him.
Yes.
the the fact that do you have to? Does this thing have comfort access? Like, do you have to?
Comfort access.
Bro,
You know what I'm
fuck?
talking about. Do you have to put you have to like take the key out and push the unlock button?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why it's fine that it has a key.
Yeah, because the key's in your hand anyway.
That's what
So-
I'm getting at.
Yes.
You know, Nick
okay,
once
I see
owned-
what you mean. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Nick once
It's
owned a
not
Mazda
BMW.
3 where you have to do both. You have to use the key fob to unlock the car. You can't. It doesn't have comfort access.
Is
Then
this
you
just
put
shit
it
on
back
Nick
into
Day?
your pocket. No, I'm not shitting on Nick at all. And you get into it, and then you push the button to start the car. So you have to take it out of your pocket to unlock the doors, or lock them when you're done. And
No,
you're leaving.
when you're walking to okay, my car. I knew how to get into my car. I would walk to my car with my keys in the hands. I would hit the unlock
Right.
button.
Put them. Then you have to put the keys
back
back
in the
away.
pocket, enter. Bob's your uncle.
Is Bob your uncle?
No.
So it's 2 steps. If it was a car with actual comfort, anyway, whatever. Fuck this. What's the next topic?
Well, what
Jeez.
what it really boils down to is
Either do one or the
key
other,
should be
not a
out or the key
mishmash
should
of both.
be in your
Yes,
pants.
exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
So
Either,
the fact that the key's already out in this thing, fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nathan, is this thing worth $72,000?
In the modern context of everything being $500 million, yeah, I think it's pretty
It's
okay
actually
value.
cheap.
I think this one's also spec'd a little funny though.
It's spec'd funny, but I think it's spec'd realistically. It's spec'd for a truck that's gonna fucking work real hard.
Yeah.
but the guys who work real hard don't want the 3.5 EcoBoost. They want the 5-liter naturally aspirated
No,
because
Not
it's
anymore,
reliable.
man. No one's
No.
buying the
No?
5 liters.
Really?
Like, it's a
Yeah.
very niche thing.
Do they still do the 3.5 naturally aspirated, or is that gone?
That's
gone.
dead.
That-
Nick was saying earlier.
Oh,
That's
okay,
gone.
okay, sorry.
That's
Okay,
gone.
got it.
I can't believe they had an eco. I've heard really bad things about this small power stroke.
I've never heard of it.
Like it's actually exploding all the time.
Actually, never heard of it.
I went on a launch and then never heard about it again.
Okay, so realistically, the
I think of the Ram Eco Diesels. They were blowing
the
up.
3.5. Oh my god, what is this thing called with the turbocharger?
EcoBoost.
EcoBoost.
No, yes, EcoBoost. Yeah. Oh, the Eco Beast. How could I forget?
Yeah.
Actually, good engine.
Actually,
And
very
it's-
good engine.
Like it propels this big truck.
It fucking
Very
moves.
well.
They're not
Oh,
efficient.
I think it boogie.
It doesn't. It's not
It
just about
can be.
efficiency.
It
though.
can it be?
It's eco
Just keep it at
or
a
boost.
boost.
If you're on boost, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But
If you're on eco,
it's fine.
I just remember when the Expeditions came out, like comparing them with like 6.2 10-speed Tahoes and Yukons, and
Yeah.
the V8 Yukons
But
and
that's
Tahoes
when it
are
came
blowing them out
out.
of the water.
That was the thing everyone was bitching about. Also,
Well, that's
these,
with
these trucks are
dynamic-
way better in the city. Like,
Okay.
way better in the city, which
okay.
is where most of these things are.
right.
Also, circling back to this whole like, okay, it's it's super expensive, but it feels cheap. I don't think it really does.
I don't think like everything feels quality on it. Like
it does
it's
feel
basic.
quality. Yeah, like we were. I don't know. We were sitting in it, and okay, materials, choice of materials.
yeah.
I think that there is a lot of hard touch plastics in the places that you kind of want them, which is like kind of high up, so like they
Yeah.
wear hard, but they're at least texturized so that they look.
They look like something. Yeah.
look-
Look,
Yeah.
they've added texture to the cabin to make it feel upscale, right? Like they've made an effort not to make
Yeah.
everything a big slate of gray or
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever it is.
That's fair.
That's well done.
Yeah.
I think it feels like a decent place to be. It feels like a truck that can do work, and you don't feel bad making it do work because it's too pretty.
Yeah.
That's actually like
That's a
kind of
big
huge,
thing
right?
with like every other truck on the press fleet, man.
Yeah. So
White leather, get the fuck out of here.
white leather in a
White
truck
leather's
is
the boss's
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think the boss would wear white leather.
On the top shelf Tundra,
Yeah.
standard is white leather.
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually.
F-150 Power Boost, white leather.
Yeah.
Sorry, the limited Power
Yeah.
Boost,
White leather.
white leather.
what happened to, like King Ranches? You know, they had like that hard wearing like.
That's still there, and that's one trim down. 1 or 2 trims down.
But that's what I mean. Like that's the kind of leather I expect in a top trim truck.
Yes,
top
exactly.
trim
And now
truck.
like the top trim, because
the toppest of the
the
top trim.
topper top, the one that's on top,
Yeah.
just topping everyone, is white leather.
I'm having my mind blown right now.
Yeah, because it looks fancy.
But like it doesn't wear well
No, it's a very bad idea.
on a truck.
But it looks fancy.
This is a truck that's never going to work a day in its fucking life.
This one will.
Not this one.
But
This particular
those
one
trucks,
will.
the white
Yes.
leather trucks, the
Yes.
toppest topper
Those
trucks,
don't do the work.
the white leather
the ones that are
trucks.
doing the topping are not going to work.
I think we should just start calling that. Oh, you got a white leather truck? That's cute.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, my truck's got cloth because I like doing work.
Action
Yeah.
Yeah,
work.
you got soft hands.
I got unpainted bumper so I can hit stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
truck. Yeah,
I actually like the truck. I think it drives really well. Their only disappointment I really have with this thing is that like Ford's got a new Pro Access tailgate, something to that effect, where like it
drops down.
Yeah, the
that's kind of chancy, but
Yeah.
lack of
well,
dampers on
even
that.
like the new Ranger now has like it's actually pretty clever. It's a spring, like a tension spring built into the bottom of the tailgate.
Yeah.
That just assists the movement.
Yeah.
The F-150 has not gotten there yet.
Not
I'm
yet.
sure it will.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't have a power tailgate or damp tailgate, anything fancy like that. But as an option, there is a tailgate that either pivots down or swings out.
That's neat.
Kind of neat. I'm honestly not 100% sure what you do with that.
I
It's for getting a forklift into the back of it easier.
yeah.
Straight up, that's what it is.
That being said, like, I feel like guys with trucks know how to do things with trucks.
No,
Like
but,
they've never had this problem.
no, but I'm thinking about the time that I actually had this problem. When I still worked at the brewery and I was using a vehicle of some variety
Yeah.
to move a large quantity of beer. And I was using a forklift to load a large quantity of beer into it.
Yeah.
And the tailgate was in the way.
Huh.
But once you just push it with the forklift fingers,
You can, but it's easier if you don't have to account for the
know what?
tailgate.
You know what?
Just
So- okay.
just drive up, drop it in.
Great
Bam,
idea,
done.
great idea.
Yeah. Gives you the option.
Can I ask a silly question? All the press trucks we get are always filled with they're optioned with bed liner. Does anybody actually buy trucks without bed liner anymore? And if not,
some guys like
why?
doing like Line-X and stuff like that. You
But like,
only
do
buy
you
it
ever see
without
it
if you're
bare
going
if you're
to.
going to do something else yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Because like I see trucks that are like all scratched up inside, and it's like Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
it's amazing to like buying a pickup truck without a bed liner. How
Yeah.
could you?
It should just
with
be
a-
standard though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It may be. I don't know.
it might be on some
I think
trucks.
it's not standard to give you the option. Or they could do like GM and Ford do a lot where like delete.
$0
There's-
option, yeah.
a zero delete option.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good truck, drives well.
We are almost at the end. We have we have about 10 minutes left. Nathan, why don't you regale us with your tales of your travels?
Yeah, I went to California Sandwiches and I got a veal sandwich. I got it with onions
you're
and
up
sweet
to
peppers.
date, you
Oh,
idiot.
that. It was a good sandwich though.
Clearly, if you're still remembering it.
Still thinking about it. Yeah.
So Toyota invited both myself and Ben on separate legs of this journey they're doing to celebrate their 60th anniversary of selling cars in Canada.
That's fun.
Started in St. John's and goes all the way to Victoria. So I was on leg 3, which took me to glamorous Montreal, and I turned around and drove back through Toronto to North Bay over the span of 4 days. So as a travel glamour thing, not super hot, but it was actually a fun trip. It was really insightful because for every leg of the trip, they're focusing on like different things about how Toyota's kind of integrated these cars into Canada because they've been selling these things for 60 years. They sold over 250,000 cars last year. 227,000 cars last year in this country of 30
that's
million
impressive.
people. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. And they export a ton more. And their Cambridge plant, they make 500,000 cars a year.
Wow.
It's kind of
Yeah.
nuts.
That's fucking
Yeah, that's
insane.
crazy output.
Yeah. So
What do they-
RAV4, the Lexus NX, and the Lexus RX.
Very cool.
Yeah. And there's another plant in Woodstock that makes more RAV4s.
Jeez.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's the best-selling single vehicle, I think, outside of the F Series in both Canada and the U.S. So they make a fuckload of them.
Yeah.
So they took us to their HQ for like a little show and shine thing where I bumped into you assholes. They took us to their Eastern Parts Distribution Center that handles all of the parts for every dealer from like Manitoba eastward.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's 220 odd dealerships.
Wow.
It's a fucking lot
Yeah.
out of one building.
It's kind of cool that you got like a bit of a
lowdown.
behind the scenes
Yeah.
look at it because like it's something that the average Joe doesn't really think about.
Yeah, and like the sort of thing the average Joe can't see. Like I wasn't allowed to bring a camera in.
Yeah.
They're kind of guarded about it, half guarded. Like they're open about the business practice, but the actual ins and outs they're quiet about.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but things like this building, like the Eastern Parts Distribution Center, I forget, there is a number. It's fucking very large. They finished it in 2020. It is net zero carbon, which is not the sort of thing I normally care that much about, but in practice, to see how they've actually implemented it is neat.
Quite impressive.
It's all geothermal. Everything's
Really?
geothermal, goes 600 feet down.
Wow.
So like this is an enormous warehouse with a bunch of bay doors. It is 22 degrees all of the time.
Wow.
Wow.
They have separate heaters and coolers that typically don't have to do more than like 1 or 2 degree of extra work because the amount of water coming from the geothermal heating is so good.
Yep.
There is a gigantic cistern that picks up all the snow and rainwater off the top of the building. That saves 325,000 liters of water a year.
Wow.
So there's shit like that. And so just like, you know, Toyota's always been very big on the whole green thing, energy conservation thing, but they put their money where their fucking mouth is.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's 2,200 solar panels on top of the building. It is a net generator for the grid.
Wow.
Like, there's no batteries. They don't keep it. If they make too much, and on a sunny day they always make too much, it just goes back into the grid.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like just thoughtful shit like that, and it's smart because like they're saving money doing this. It's not just signaling. It's smart business.
Yeah.
And then things like just the way everything is ergonomically laid out. Everything is considered so carefully to improve the process. Stop fucking smirking at me, you bastard.
You're very handsome.
They're really big on this, like, you know, their whole thing of Kaizen, right? Like continuous improvement.
Yes,
and it's neat to see, you know, at their manufacturing plant, at this parts distribution center, at the head office, like at every step of the way, they're actually very deliberately concerned about trying to do everything better all of the time. It's a deliberate, concerted effort. It's a very unique style of thinking, and it's a long-term thinking that we don't see, right? Like, I feel like there's a big cultural zeitgeist lately of like, we're in late-stage capitalism. Every business is just trying to fucking squeeze everyone and everything for a last dollar of profit right fucking now. Forget the next year. Just make this quarter fly right now.
Yeah.
Why can't we do fucking better than this?
Yeah.
And Toyota has quietly been doing better the whole time.
And I think overall that leads to overall quality.
Yeah.
Their vehicles last longer than anything else. Their, you know, customer satisfaction is off the
Well,
charts.
the overarching theme throughout everything that they do is do better.
Yeah, do better and do better for your people, right?
Exactly.
Like they try to like
Their employees are happy. Like everyone is overall like
like
I can't speak to everyone, but yeah.
At this distribution center, right? There's 12,000 separate orders going in and out every day,
Yeah.
and no one looked busy. It was chill as fuck. Same thing at the plant, where
That's
500,000
pretty
cars
amazing.
get made a year. Everyone is fucking chilling.
Wow.
Right? Because
In the best way.
if you're pushing and you're straining, things get lost, things get missed. And like they're not super punitive. They encourage mistakes to be reported. Because if you ever dick about it, then you hide them, and then someone else finds it down the road.
Yeah.
So let's get it now.
Trap the error and then rectify it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like something that stuck out to me was at the plant, like every step is inspected at least twice, and then a final quality check before it moves into the next stage of the assembly process. Am I thinking like, that's a lot of redundancy. You could probably do more cars if you trim that out, but like, no, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like stay committed to the quality.
Yeah.
Right there. There's your proof.
Yeah.
That actually works.
Yeah. And so it was just kind of impressive to see that. It was an interesting trip, just being kind of taught how to fucking think differently.
Well, that's yeah, I don't know. I'm glad you got to see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see, like, I don't know, the philosophy in the background behind a company like that, because, you know, we harp about, like, Toyota probably does this because of this. It's like, no, like, this is the way that these guys actually think.
Yeah,
Like,
someone sat down and thought about it very fucking carefully.
exactly, yeah. Which is why you should always test self-parking, because no, but, like, yeah, I think that's actually really neat that they invited journalists of all people to just be like, hey, come check out this, like, this is what we are about.
Yeah.
I actually have a coupon in in the owner's manual folio of my 09 LS460 that says it, like, owners, purchasers of these vehicles are, or the original purchaser, which is not me, are invited to, you know, you and your spouse are invited to come out to the factory, the Lexus factory in Ontario, and go have a nice lunch, and they'd give you a factory tour, and then they give you a nice wine tasting.
That's probably because you
and
bought
then they send
an
you home.
LS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, like, also,
I should see if my 15-year-old coupon is actually valid.
maybe, but I remember working at a Lexus dealership, you know, back in my high school days.
Yeah.
And that whole philosophy comes and flows through down to the dealership level. Like, every single person at the dealership, and we're talking about minimum wage workers, working hard, washing cars.
Yeah.
But it was, if you make a mistake, report it. You know? like it was
and we'll figure it out.
Exactly. It was about the continuous
Yeah,
improvement.
and they were so big on like not only coming down from the top, but like come up from the bottom. Like,
Exactly.
You meet every day. How can we do better?
That's
Like,
exactly
like,
it.
How did yesterday go? Okay,
Yeah.
great. What can we do better? What do you
remember,
think
like-
we could do better? What stressed you out yesterday?
That's exactly
yeah.
it. So we would have these things like every morning. It was like a circle meeting, right? So it was like, it sounds funny, but it's like everyone stand in a circle.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, like here's what everyone's doing today. How can anyone help each other out? And what happened yesterday? What can we do better today?
Yeah.
And like having the time to reflect, actually,
Yeah, made you better and think better.
even at at that time I was at such a low level, but you were never treated as a low level employee, right? It was
Yeah,
do better for everyone.
everyone. Yeah.
I don't know. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's a great philosophy.
Yeah, to see that in action is actually like really
The
like,
world,
inspiring.
the world
honestly.
would be a better place if every business kind of practiced that.
Yeah.
So that was a parts distribution center. What was the plant tour like?
Same idea, just on a bigger scale. Like, just it was so neat to see. Like, it's a fucking enormous building.
Yeah.
And every square inch is like optimized, but not squeezed.
Yeah.
Just carefully laid out, carefully thought out. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like scary to think about it. It's such an intricate operation. Like, I felt like I wasn't smart enough to be in that fucking building.
Wow.
Someone so devastatingly intelligent, not someone, a committee, a team,
Yeah.
worked really hard to think about every step of how we can best do this most efficiently. Like, they stamp every part out there too. They don't get a lot of parts in.
Yeah.
Like, they get the engines in, and that's it. Like, they start with a roll of steel and stamp a fucking car out of it. And they start with I don't even know what raw plastic is. Goo.
Yeah. Petroleum, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
raw
and
goo.
print a dashboard.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, everything is made in-house. So it's neat to
Yeah.
see that all come together.
And I remember hearing like this about like Japanese manufacturers in general. It was like even back when, like back in the day, like even if they had to get something made, like if this tail light was made by a different company, or if this
Yeah.
like head unit was made by a different company, they had such a hard say in how to make it and
Yeah.
the philosophy and the practices in the other businesses' practice, like
Yeah.
how they actually like
Of
brought
course,
this
like
together.
one of the big things I learned, like one of Toyota's biggest supplier, Denso, they have like a huge stake in them, right?
Yeah.
Like any of their big suppliers, they have a big stake in.
Yeah.
And if any supplier is having like issues meeting a target or we're seeing quality issues,
Yeah.
they won't, penalize them for not meeting a contract. They'll send a team
Yes,
over
no.
to improve their practice.
And that's exactly what it is. Like
so
they're
that
not they're not buying up a huge share of this company to be malicious and undercut them.
Yeah.
They're buying it so they have a good oversight to be like, hey,
Yeah.
we want to do these parts in a certain way because we like this quality of part.
Yeah.
Help us get there.
Yeah.
Which
How
is
can we help
wild.
you do that?
Yeah,
It's fucking crazy. And like they have every process so nailed down. They've almost like completely dialed out human error without dialing out humanity. And that's the most impressive thing I got out of
Yeah.
it. It's fucking incredible.
That's
Like
fantastic.
actually so amazing.
Something you don't think about when you actually buy cars.
Or review them, like, I don't know, on the day to day. Like, again, I was saying this.
Well, yeah, because we look at it like they're fucking dated.
Yeah.
yeah, and
They're
it's like,
dated. They're behind the curve. They're uninspired. But like,
But at the
but they're
same
fucking they're a
time,
quality
they're-
product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can actually see it.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I don't know. I always picture like this mountain, right? It's like you got like, okay, like some manufacturers are like, you see like the tippy top of the mountain, and it's like tech, this, that, whatever, and then Toyota's got like this broad pyramid of the basics that really
Yeah.
matter, and it's so
Yeah.
Ingrained.
Carefully nailed down. Yeah.
exactly that like, no matter what they do, it's gonna be quality,
Yeah.
which is kind of wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially seeing the manufacturers recently, like Mercedes and stuff. Like we see them
Yeah.
slip up a little, and it's like, whoa, what the heck is that? Like
Yeah.
from a make like Mercedes, like you would
Yeah.
never expect that.
Yeah.
But it's like because Toyota has this such a broad base,
Yeah.
a good foundation.
Yeah,
right?
like just a cultural, a company-wide way of thinking, a company-wide culture that they're so serious about, that it's so ingrained at every step. Like you kind of can't do it wrong.
Yep,
Yeah,
very good.
Sweet. And that takes us to the end of our episode this week. Thanks for that, Nathan. That's actually very, very insightful. That's stuff you don't really think about when you're actually buying a car. I think
I'm super proud of that.
Yeah.
Dialing out human error without humanity. That's
Oh, yeah,
what
that was
that's what I
neat.
need to do.
That's kind of
That's a good line.
That was super clutch. I'm proud of
Yeah.
that one.
Wow. You can words?
that guy said that.
Wow.
I'm actually a writer.
No.
That's true.
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Rush, Nathan, Addy, it has been a slice chatting cars with you fellas. For those listening, if you wish to keep tabs on our automotive misadventures, you can do so at doubleclutch.ca on socials. And last but not least, thanks for listening, Nathan's mom.
She does still listen, by the way. So hi.
Yay!